Hey, how you doing, folks? This is KJ's What Happened, spanning over the last week, December 9th through December 15th. Throughout the week, I'm always researching, and I find different little bits I just want to share. And I usually put these in videos. I really didn't know where else to put them, but just in different folders throughout the week. So that's basically what this show is we're going to go through and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been looking at. It may get weird, it may get random, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the great mods. Thanks for all those that support my work. And just thanks for the encouragement and the coolness. We got a great community here. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. So some of you that are familiar with my work and other people in these kind of realms, decoding and trying to understand hidden languages and subliminals and all that kind of stuff, you probably know about this. The Economist, for the last few years, have done these, the world in 2016, 17, now 18, right around this time, just before the new year. And there have been a lot of really amazing decodes on those magazine covers over the last few years. I'm not just saying me, I did a few as well, but there have been a lot of interesting decodes. A lot of people find different things in there. It's been very fascinating. And to me, this is all about lesser magic. It's connected to that. Showing us things they're going to do before they do them, including us in the spell. Foster Bailey, Alice Bailey have written a lot about this. Also the power of intention and symbols and things like that as well. So I'm kind of going off course a bit. So let's go ahead and check this out though. But if you hadn't seen some of those in the past, let me see. I'll bring one of these up here. The world in 2017. Look at some images. There we go. So you guys have probably seen this, right? A lot of you have seen these videos and these decodes, and a lot of you understand what I'm talking about, how they hide things like this in plain sight. Some of you may be new, maybe not sure what this show is. Buckle up, if all this is new to you. We're just skimming the surface. But anyway, there's some of it right there. So you guys probably saw some of the decodes on some of these past covers, I imagine, right? So let's get back to where we were. There we go. So the world in 2018. So this is the new cover, and they definitely went a different route, It's almost like just emoticons now, which is interesting. Basically what these are. And it's kind of cool. You can do this right here. You can drag and drop, and we can get a close-up of these images. So like I said, I've done some decodes of these over the last few years. I just started looking at this one this week a little bit, and I really didn't do much on it. I've been busy this week, by the way. VidMe shut down today at noon, and I have a website, and about half of the videos I had on the website were originally uploaded to VidMe and then embedded onto my site just to save me space, on my site. And it turns out that was a big mistake. So this whole week, basically, I've been trying to transfer videos around to different places. I'm even trying out Steam It in some other areas just to preserve my work in other places and stuff. So we got that going. Enough about me. World in 2018. So I thought it might be kind of cool just to take a look at it together and see what you guys see. And, we got a chat going here, which is always live. You got a hot chat, as the kids say. Do the kids say that, or am I just saying it? They got a hot chat. There's a hot chat going on. But really, the chat gets pretty crazy. It goes pretty fast over there. We got a lot of great people over there, and they have a lot of interesting perspectives and great shares and knowledge, because this really is a community, right? And you can put some of this down in the comment sections once this video is uploaded. So anyway, let's just take a look. All right, together. You cool with that? We got some stories to go through, but I figured we'll just look at this right now. 2018, world in 2018. So we got weather. You got, looks like rain. You got a cat. We get the film thing, Hollywood, maybe all the controversy in Hollywood. I get a baby. Statue of Liberty. Mother Goddess worship. A lot of people believe that the next 9/11 is going to be connected to that area, the Statue of Liberty in New York City. You can toss me in that camp. I've done some research on that as well. So it's interesting. So you got that. Who do you think that right there might be? It looks like Trump. Happy face. That's the flag for the whatchamacallit. Not the UN, but the EU. And it looks like there's a star falling off of that. Old man, looks like. Crown, royalty. Tank war, perhaps. A bug. Maybe that's the locusts from the pit. Who knows? Russian Orthodox Church right there. Not sure what that is. Got a rocket. VW bug. I'm not sure. Cities. Green face. Not happy. Comet. Something coming. Or not. Got a comet up in there. Looks like that's the seal of Saturn inside the comet as well. Saturn, Satan represented. Got the radio wave type thing there, or the Wi-Fi. Looks like Kim Jong. Looks like a purse. Industry. Couple mountains. Camel. The atomic boom. The atomic bomb has been on the last few covers as well, so that's been out there. I think that might be the president of China. It looks like Kim Jong-un, but then I think that's the China. Coffee, guitar. Looks like Hillary to me. I don't know. Rocket or a fighter jet, bicycle. Interesting symbol. Not sure what that is yet. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 10 pointed. I don't know. Looks like sun symbolism. Not sure. Headset. Is that the London Tower? The tower in London? Middle Eastern type person. Raft. Refugees. This right here. Got the one pillar. Maybe it's the pillars of masonry. Eiffel Tower. Putin. Bridge. Robot. Creepy clown, of course. The killer clowns. I've done a lot of videos on that as well. Just that being more of a manifestation of demonic energy, of demonic possession, of the veil lifting. At least that's my take on it. There's Saturn, or Saturn, Satan, Saturnalia. Not sure who that is. Fish. Don't know. Passcode, key code. Statue. DNA. It's interesting. The coexist, of course. That's the New World Order right there. That's pulling it all together into one religion. There's that. Africa. Umbrella. Oil. The capital, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Telescope. Sun symbolism. Don't know what that is. Looks like a TIE fighter or something right there. Spaceship. I don't know. That and that. More to the Mother Goddess worship. That reminds me of, but that's me. So there you go. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. I figured it would just kind of go through it together. The world in 2018. I imagine there'll be people out there making videos and decoding this stuff. It could also be color coded. You know, they all have separate colors. So I wonder what happens if you put certain symbols of the same color together, if that tells its own story. You know, so again, I'm just jumping into this with you guys. Maybe I'll look into it later and do a deeper video if I can find something, but that's that. So I thought we'd do that together. So let's jump around and see what else we got. Thanks again for being here, by the way. You're having a good weekend. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of the weekend. Sierra here. Shock claim. I summoned aliens using experts technique before being hounded by UFO. This is Stephen Greer. I've had a lot of people ask me about him. You know, like my thoughts on him. I don't know. Anybody that gets as much press as he does, I think they just released a documentary as well. He's been around for a long time. I think that he's put there on purpose, or maybe he's been compromised. Again, I don't know much about this guy, but I think he'll be one of the people that, for the coming alien invasion, which we'll get into some of that here in a little while too. But the coming alien invasion, what will that look like? What will these aliens be? Could they actually be the locusts from the pit? Will it be something separate? I don't know. But it's interesting, and I watch for it. But he seems like one of these guys that's going to kind of bridge the gap. I don't know. Maybe he's a part of soft disclosure, something. But that's just kind of my take. So he's been around for a while. It'd be interesting to hear what you guys think about him. Stephen Greer, Greer. You can look him up on YouTube. He's done tons of, like speaking engagements. And again, I think he's in a documentary. Like, I think they just recently released a documentary, and he's a big part of it. So you can check that out if you like. Star Wars Burnout, Last Jedi, Thursday night box office falls short of Force Awakens by 12 million. That I really don't care about. It's just, I don't know, I just tossed this up there. I mean, just like a lot of you, I was kind of raised on Star Wars, the old school Star Wars. And just to see what they've done to it, it's just a real shame. It used to have kind of deeper meaning. If you go back, there are people who've done a lot of interesting decodes on the whole, occult side and esoteric side of Star Wars, like the first three, the old school ones, right? It's a lot of really interesting things there. So you can look into that. If you've never heard of that subject, check it out. Again, I don't know who these researchers are. I can't remember the names. These are people that have been around for years, and I've seen this stuff off and on throughout the years, and it's just spot on stuff. So my point is, there's a deeper meaning there. It's like there was something being said. And especially now that Disney's in charge of it, it's just, you see a lot of the social justice warrior stuff. You see a lot of the leftist ideologies being pushed and things like this. And it's just more divisive. I mean, I saw something about, of course, football. They're having a hard time filling the stadiums. I've been seeing a lot of news stories on that lately here as well. And it's like, when are you guys going to learn your lesson? But I don't think it's about that. We're beyond that. These are just hints of, the darker agendas to come. I certainly believe that. We are living in that time, and we're just getting kind of hints of that. Because it's not about what's fair or what's right. It's about the beast system, and it's about the messages that the beast wants to get across now. So this is why everything's being tainted by this. And there's different levels to that beast system, but one of the levels is certainly the leftist, fascist side. Even the modern Democrats, these aren't your JFK Democrats now. It's the modern Democrats. But you see, they want hardcore control, and they'll do anything to get it. But anyway, I'm kind of going off course. But these new ones, again, just big agendas. I mean, the whole third wave feminism thing is in there as well, making some of the men more weak. Not really empowering the woman for, her brights or anything like this, or her skills so much, but just about her being basically a dude, just a badass dude, that many times make sure you understand she don't need no dude. She's got this. She's a badass. And she really is in these movies. It's like she just somehow has like all the power to do everything. So when I see stuff like that, again, it's not that I'm not mad at women. I'm mad at these agendas because I see them for what they are. And it's annoying. It's annoying. Mad Max did that as well. The last Mad Max movie. I thought it was, visually stunning. It was great like that. Wasn't crazy about the story. I mean, again, just more agenda in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure he admits that. Let's see. Show you what I'm talking about. Mad Max. Feminist agenda. Admitted. Let's see. So there's some messages there, but I thought that the creator of the movie or the director of the movie had actually admitted it. Let's see. Anyway, let's see here. Just open this one up from good old trusty CNN. It's the first one I saw. But yeah, just I'm not going to go through the whole story, just giving you some examples here. So anyway, it was a thing. It was a thing. Even if you look at the poster, the way they had it set up, Fury Road, that was it. Fury Road. We'll look at the image, and you'll get a good idea what I mean too. You see it right there. So this was like the big main poster, for it. It's kind of a small shot. Let's see. Bigger one, maybe. That's better. So there you go. And, the focus of this, the framing of it is, of course, the woman right dead center. Some of this is even going to be in a newer video of mine, again, about the mother goddess stuff and how much of this is out there right now. But so there's that. And if you watch the movie, it really was about the woman. She was definitely Mad Max's equal. They could fight, and she'd beat him back constantly. It's just stuff like this is just eye rolling. And I know that it might not seem nice to say it, but it's just a guy Mad Max's size, or the actor Tom Hardy, one right hook, he's taking this girl out. She's like 100 pounds soaking wet. But in the movies, they basically take a lot of these women, and typically women who are naturally really, really good looking, but then they make them look like this. They toughen them up, make them look like dudes, and they basically write a man's part, and they just put the women in there. And now we see the outcome of all this over all these years of this kind of conditioning, all the gender fluidity and all the crazy trans stuff that's happening. So there you go, right? But so this movie was really about her. And a big part of the plot of the film is they meet a bunch of witches out in a desert. So there's like this coven of witches. It's all about the, matriarchy, versus the patriarchy. I think I have that right. But, men bad, and the witches coming together and this, that, and the other. And again, will be in another video I've got coming up very soon. There's a lot to draw on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop and move on. Let's see what else I got here. I'll take a drink of water real quick here. Let's see. I was interested in this news story here. J.K. Rowling. There it is. If I can just grab it. There it is. J.K. Rowling, and this is the lady that wrote the Harry Potter series. There's a video I have on my website, and it may be one of the ones I had to transfer. I don't know, but I know it's there, and it talks about a witch basically saying what Harry Potter did to your children. Ex-witch, exposes what Harry Potter did to your kids, and it's very interesting stuff. You don't know much about Harry Potter, but full-on indoctrination of the occult, for your kids, and it definitely makes it cool, makes it seem cool. It's Harry Potter. I want to have magic powers too, right? Anyway, I thought this was just kind of interesting. J.K. Rowling has ridiculed Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore by suggesting he lost Tuesday's election because he was being punished by a black female god. Interesting. That's all. I want to show that to you real quick. What else I got up here? Oh, this is from Hillsong. Let's see. Good old Hillsong. This is another one of the end times corrupt Christian churches. It's one of the biggest ones in America. And filled with symbolism, all the same symbolism that, ironically enough, Satanists used, or what we call Illuminati artists, right? People who have sold out to that satanic system, the kind of symbols they're constantly using, but it's all through here. So united, they have the as above, so below going on. Of course, the black and the white, the duality world is all right there. Let's see. I think I have a story up about this young lady right here. We'll see if I have that somewhere. I'm just going to kind of go. It's almost like we roll the dice here. It's just kind of a lottery system of what story comes up next. So, and I like it that way too. So hope you do too. So let's see what we got right here. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I found the story. Taya Smith is her name. Hillsong United's Taya Smith. And she's like a leader of worship at Hillsong. And this is kind of an older story. I just sharing it, just something I kind of stumbled into. But that's what she looks like now, I guess, or like after the haircut. But again, just showing you, that this is all a part of that same worldly agenda we're seeing now in everything, movies and TV shows. It still annoys me when I'm watching something and then all of a sudden from out of nowhere, you got characters that you have to, get gay with each other or whatever, or like someone just, for whatever reason, suddenly switches over and goes gay. I watch Mr. Robot sometimes. I kind of watch a lot of things here and there, and that's where my work comes from, trying to show what's out there. But even with that one this season, it's like all of a sudden one of the main characters is just like, oh, hey, I'm a lesbian now. And it's just like, guys, I mean, do we really need this in everything? It's like less than 0.9% of the population, or maybe 2%. It could be 2%. But it's a really small group, gay people. But you wouldn't know that by watching anything nowadays, a movie or a TV show or anything, because they're in constantly having to be represented, and it gives that illusion that it's all over the place, but it's still just a minuscule part of our population. But through media and all this, it's like it makes you think it's everywhere, right? Anyway, so big church, Hillsong, more of this stuff, this agenda, the crossing, the blurring of the lines, I guess you could say. Anyway, I ain't going to that church. AI, artificial intelligence, will allow humans to communicate via telepathy. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. A business set up last year is developing technology that would give people super intelligence like never seen before. Brian Johnson, who founded the company, presented the idea of a brain-computer interface which will also allow us to communicate with machines. Again, I just did a video about electric gods, and this is all just more stuff coming out confirming this, don't get lost in this, guys. I don't know. You might not know about...
What can you say about the evidence of sexism in AI?
Stop that. You might not know about, the Bible or God or Jesus or any of that, and, if you don't, I hope you look into it real soon, because that's what this is all about. It's the end of the rabbit hole. This is it. None of that other stuff matters. When all this stuff starts popping, and you're going to be forced, if you want to buy, sell, or trade, to take one of these weird marks, don't. Please. Hopefully you'll know better, even if there has to be some temporary suffering or something. But this stuff is prophecy. And it's just moving quicker, So keep your peepers peeled. Humans 2.0, meet the entrepreneur who wants to put a chip in your brain. Ruh-roh. Brian Johnson isn't short of ambition. The founder and CEO of neuroscience company Kernel wants to expand the bounds of human intelligence, quote unquote. He is planning to do this with neuroprosthetics, brain augmentations, oh boy, that can improve mental function and treat disorders. Put simply, Kernel hopes to place a chip in your brain. Jeepers. It isn't clear yet exactly how this will work. There's a lot of excited talk about the possibilities of the technology, but publicly at least, Kernel's output at the moment is an idea, a big idea. He says, my hope is that within 15 years, we can build sufficiently powerful tools to interface with our brains. Can I increase my rate of learning, scope of imagination, and ability to love? Can I understand what it's like to live in a 10-dimensional reality? Can we ameliorate or cure neurological disease and dysfunction? The shape that this technology will take is still unknown. Johnson uses the term, quote, brain chip, but the developments taking place in neuroprosthesis are working towards less invasive procedures than opening up your skull and cramming a bit of hardware in. Injectable sensors are one possibility. Man, it's crazy when I see these stories. I mean, all the stuff that we've been looking at and talking about for the last few years, it's all coming together. So, again, please, I'm not a religious guy, but I'm a guy that believes wholeheartedly in God and in Jesus Christ and in the Bible, and that we're in the end times. I don't know exactly when something's going to go down. I live my life day by day in peace, but I watch. So be prepared. For real. See what else we got here. I thought this was just kind of weird. Ride from hell. Male hitchhiker raped at gunpoint by 2 women in South Africa after being forced to drink mystery substance. The victim was left hospitalized after being attacked by gang rape women as, quote, semen bandit menace continues. This is a thing out there. This isn't the first time. A male hitchhiker was drugged and raped by 2 women in South Africa as the region's so-called sperm bandit menace continues. He was left hospitalized after being attacked when he was picked up by the middle-aged women in Polokwane? I don't know. Limpopo? I like that. It's a fun word to say, Limpopo. Be a good pet's name, too. Get over here, Limpopo. But in that province of Limpopo, they held a gun to him and forced him to drink an unknown substance before the gang rape horror, police said. Lieutenant Colonel said after the ordeal, it is alleged they drove further with the victim and dropped him off in a secluded area where he proceeded to the police station and reported the matter. Says the public is urged to use reliable public transport at all times. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Got it. So yeah, I guess that's the thing out there. Says last year, 3 other women reportedly abducted a man in Bulawayo and forced him to have sex with them before scarpering with his semen. So yeah, semen harvesters, it seems. Gross. But interesting. Right? I said, right? Netflix faces backlash for tweeting customers' private viewing habits. That's a bummer, but again, just not to be, we can't be surprised by this. I mean, it's all connected. It's all about information. That was what Jade Helm, a big part of that was, right? So spreading these networks, getting everybody connected and learning everything about you, So anyway, just a brief one. Just want to toss that in there. Let's chuck that one in there real quick. I thought this is really interesting here. I have another YouTube channel called KJ Osborne. I haven't uploaded there in a long, long time, but I used to quite a bit. And I guess my website now is my new KJ Osborne channel, but I have a video on there if you're interested about this. It's about these mystery human feet that kept washing up on beaches. And that was the one I did a couple of years ago. So it looks like it's still happening. There's been more. Let's take a look here. The exceptionally high tides this time of the year off British Columbia can turn the rocky western coast of Vancouver Island into a graveyard. Bones from gray whales, sea lions, and killer whales wash ashore, piling on the beach along fallen evergreens. But on Thursday morning, Taz, a 6-year-old Rottweiler, sensed something different about a bone tangled in a bed of kelp. Taz darted away from her owner, Mike Johns, to inspect it, sniffing a piece that jutted out on a beach in the hamlet of Jordan River. Her instincts were right. Mr. Johns followed behind her and pushed away the kelp, revealing his dog's find, a tibia and fibula attached to a left human foot with a white ankle sock in a black running shoe. There's a little picture of it. In any other part of the world, a sneaker with a human foot washing ashore might be a terrifying discovery, enough to frighten residents and stir fears of a gruesome murder or a serial killer on the loose. But not in British Columbia, where these discoveries have become so common that they are tracked. This is the 13th foot to wash ashore since 2007. It's just a freak thing that had happened to be here, said Mr. Johns, 56, who lives in Jordan River, a surfer's village about 70 miles southwest of Vancouver, Canada. Just going to move on past. Anything else? That's about it. It's a bit of a mystery, though. Bit of a mystery. Since the first severed foot was discovered in August 2007, the cases have caught the attention and imagination of Canadians across the country. By July 2008, 5 feet had been retrieved in the Strait of Georgia, part of the Pacific Ocean between Vancouver and Washington State. It was discovered in February 2016, a right foot in a black and blue New Balance sneaker that was found about 20 miles west of last Thursday's discovery. It's so weird, you know? Anyway, I thought I'd share that modern mystery. Modern mystery. Did you guys ever used to watch Unsolved Mysteries? It's one of my favorite shows of all times. I love it. The artificial intelligence creating fake porn. Deep fakes. Algorithm puts Gal Gadot's face onto the body of an adult movie star. Interesting. So again, just to go, this is back to that kind of false reality thing. I mean, I walk a line, and there's different approaches on this being a false reality, and some people just like go cuckoo crazy bird, and it's like nothing's real, everything's an illusion, and they'd lose their crap. I mean, I see this with some people, but then there's stuff like this, like this is legit. I mean, it just goes to show you that this artificial intelligence octopus that's just like squeezing the entire world right now. The different things it's capable of. So this is like really like stuff out of sci-fi movies we saw years ago. I mean, they could literally create a whole news story. I think Mr. Robot even did this, maybe. But anyway, I've seen this before, where they can create a whole news story about you and you wouldn't even know it, and then put it up on the news. It's like this person caught, placing bomb or doing this or doing that, and it looks like you, and it's got your face, and I mean, they can do stuff like this. I'm just saying, it's crazy. Me, again, this goes back to the spiritual stuff. If I didn't have God or believe in Jesus myself, I mean, I'd be going, that's the crazy sound, the crazy whistle. But I would be, cuckoo, cuckoo, because how could you not? This is, again, why, for me, I always have to keep in mind this is a spiritual battle, right? But moving on to the next story of the week. I just kind of grabbed this one. I kind of want to take a look at it. 25,000 children as young as 11 are hooked on online gambling sites. Government report reveals how youngsters are being lured in by a video game called skin betting. Skin betting. I was going to say called skin betting, but I guess that's what it is. Let's read this together, shall we? The websites allow players to gamble with digital items such as virtual currency. Children can win modified guns or knives within video games called skins. Rare skins can then be sold online for as much as $1,300. The Gambling Commission has said it is alarmed at the new ways that young peoples and children are finding to gamble. Let's take a little peek at this. Let's rest our peepers on this one. Thanks again for being here, by the way. Appreciate you. Appreciate the chat group over there. I appreciate your comments below. Let's see what we got here. So let's just jump to this one here. Skins are collectible virtual items in online games that change how a weapon looks. For example, turning a knife into a golden dagger. Skins can sometimes be earned by playing the game, but they can often also be bought by players using real-world money. A number of video games let players trade and sell skins with rarer items slapped with higher prices. Some websites let players gamble their skins or in-game currency for the chance to win a rare item. As these items can theoretically be sold and turned back in real-world money, critics claim the sites constitute a form of gambling. Hey, sure, I can get that. Skin betting. Are your kids skin betting? I don't know. Better find out. Skin betting. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, I get it. Doesn't sound like that'd be good for the kiddies, though, especially if they sneak into mommy's purse and pull out the card. Yeah, I'm just going to get a couple new skins. 4 days later. Ruh-roh. You know what I mean? Has an alien probe entered our solar system? Cigar-shaped interstellar comet. Here's one that I'm really interested in. I'll just say, I don't know if I can pronounce that right. Oumuamua. It's another nice word to say. Oumuamua. Just kind of rolls off. Oumuamua. I need to use that word just randomly out in public, you know. Hi, sir. Can I help you? Oumuamua. Cigar-shaped interstellar comet Oumuamua is being investigated for signs of extraterrestrial technology. This is a really cool story. I may make a bigger video on this one actually too, but check this out. And this is on a lot of different sites have covered this. You know, news company. I just kind of grab the first one I see sometimes with this. This is Daily Mail. Let's try to get past all these goofy ads. I guess I need to get an ad blocker. That might be a good idea, right? Astronomers are set to scan an alien comet for signs of extraterrestrial signals. The cigar-shaped object sailed past Earth last month. The mysterious comet is the first interstellar object seen in the solar system. Now a team of alien hunting scientists led by Russian billionaire Yuri Milner is scanning the object for radio signals. Let's see here. So the cigar-shaped asteroid named Oumuamua by its discoverers sailed past Earth last month and is the first interstellar object seen in the solar system. A team of alien hunting scientists led by the Russian billionaire will scan the comet this week before it sails beyond the reach of Earth's telescopes. They say they are looking for radio signals, claiming the mysterious visitor could be an alien spaceship. So yeah, I guess that's supposed to be a picture of it. Crazy, right? I mean, it looks like some kind of a weird spaceship. The alien hunting project will use the Green Bank telescope. And let me just throw this in here real quick, too. Whether this turned out to be a fake story or whatever, I mean, these stories come out for a reason. And we're seeing a lot of these kind of stories. And again, I believe it all comes together with a soft disclosure. Whether that's going to be real, like fallen angels coming down in the shape of, you know, little alien visitors to be friends, or a Project Bluebeam thing, or a combination of both, or, you know, who knows? I don't know. I keep my eyes open for all of it. I'm just saying, though, you see these stories, this is what this is. This is like a slow conditioning, you know, to introduce us to this. It's even in the Illuminati card game. Come on. All right. Well, there's a card in there about the aliens coming down. So there you have it. So yeah, I'll be looking more into this myself. This cigar-shaped comet, Oumuamua, it was first spotted by a telescope in Hawaii on the 18th of October, I'm guessing this year, and was observed 34 separate times in the following week. Traveling at 44 kilometers per second, which is 27 miles per second, the comet is headed away from the Earth and Sun on its way out of the solar system. The comet is up to 1/4 mile long and highly elongated, perhaps 10 times as long as it is wide. That aspect ratio is greater than that of any asteroid or comet observed in our solar system to date. But the comet's slightly red hue, specifically pale pink, and varying brightness are remarkably similar to objects in our own solar system. So this is one to watch. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, check this one out. College enlists Care Bears. That's right, Care Bears to comfort stressed out students. Can you believe this? A dorm for honors students at the University of Massachusetts recently put up a display featuring Care Bears characters offering advice for, quote, grumpy or stressed students. Make time for fun, it says, adding that laughter is the best medicine. Oh, man. This is such a classic story, and it connects to other things I want to put into a video as well. Like, this is it's a big one. It just goes to show you, you know, they're babyfying everybody, treating us like infants. That's why, like, most men in modern mainstream comedies, like the R comedies lately, kind of raunchy and stuff, but every one of those men are they're man children. You know, this is a thing, you know, It's been around for years. They've been doing this kind of programming, but it's always the man-child. Will Ferrell is a big part of that psyop, really, if you will, but just be a baby. Don't think. Be an idiot. Be dumb. I think that's the way the beast system wants us. Be a dummy. Be stupid. Pay attention to your entertainment. All right? Be dumb. Think happy thoughts all the time. Happy, 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 happy. Self-hypnosis. Make time for fun. So there you go. College students, man. Really? I always had a bit of an attitude when I was younger. If I was like 18 or 19 seeing that, I'd probably like kick it and break it into pieces. That's just me. I've come a long way, all right? Relax. A dorm display at the University of Massachusetts, using the Care Bears, feeling grumpy, stressed. We covered that. It's important to take care of ourselves. Self-care is an active choice, and you should treat it as such, one section proclaims, while others suggest that students surround yourselves with supportive people and reminders of what you love. The display also suggests goofing around with friends, making time for fun, eating healthy, and getting enough sleep. I get it. Like if this was in like a preschool, this should not be in a college campus. It shouldn't be for college kids. This is the as above, so below paradigm again. This is the, we're living in the upside down. I mean, this is it. That's it. It's another example. Let's see what else we got here. Take a quick drink here, guys. Give me a second. Modern day witches call theirs a beautiful way of life. Not a big deal, not a big story. Just wanted to throw it in there. Again, how this stuff is rising. I did a video recently about the millennials are becoming witches, and now you got these kind of stories coming out now too. So just, again, more of this. As Christianity, true Christianity declines, as people's faith in God and Jesus decline, they're looking for other answers in these times, and this is just one of the many choices. That seems to be a very popular choice as far as the world goes, So there's that. What else we got? What was this for the world in 2018? Okay, that's that. We covered that earlier. Covered this guy. Let's see what this one is. End of the world, it says. That'll grab your attention. End of the world. Nibiru predictor foresees floods of biblical proportions. I thought this is kind of funny anyway, and again, it just goes back to my own faith, but I know that when Jesus comes back, when the end is here, the end is going to be with fire. It's not going to be another flood, but there will be flooding due to tsunamis and earthquakes and all kinds of chaos, but that won't be the primary way that this world's completely destroyed. So anyway, the world is set for another flood of biblical proportions, which would spell the end of the world, the man who predicted Nibiru has claimed. All year, David Mead, a Christian numerologist, has predicted the arrival of Nibiru, a mythical planet which is supposedly earthbound that will destroy the planet. Now, as far as biblical goes, look at wormwood. That's the word for it in the Bible. I believe it's the same thing, but you can check that out. So now Mr. Mead has claimed that flooding similar to that of Noah's Ark will strike the earth and only believers will be spared. He says the signs began when Hitler rose to power in Nazi Germany. Again, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. It's the first I'm hearing about him. Writing for Planet X News, he says when Hitler rose in Germany years ago, one of the first things he did was close down the churches. Yep. True men of God in Germany were imprisoned or executed. Jesus stated there would be a repeat of the days of Noah at the end of the church age, which is true. Today we have a repeat of this whole process, good versus evil, God versus Satan, but it's the end times, folks, and this is the final playbook. Shortly before the days of Noah, Enoch lived. The Bible says he walked with God, and then he was not found. So interesting. It's interesting. It's the story itself. Even if it was just totally created by an artificial intelligence, the fact it's coming out now means something. It always does. So I thought I'd share that. Let's see what we got over here. Just kind of jump around a bit. I thought this was kind of cute. Kind of cute and a little bit disturbing. Baby uses sign language to call for help from Santa's lap. Anyway, here's the mom. We taught our baby sign language. This is the sign for help. You're welcome. That was nice. Help, mommy. See what else we got here. How the Simpsons accurately and spookily predicted recent events in a 1998 episode. Well, here's one I know a lot of you are going to know about. I'm going to cancel that. Because this is another one that's just, it's very interesting. It makes me think of storyboard magic, again, lesser magic. How truth comes out through something that seems as harmless as animation and cartoons, and that's all a part of it. And it's why that stuff comes out sometimes there, because it makes people look crazy when you're running around saying, hey, there's Illuminati thing and this and that and the Simpsons and then this happened and that happened, and they look at you like, like you're nuts. But then you look at this right here, and this is like a more mainstream story coming out where even they can't deny all the interesting connections and synchronicities. So there's something going on definitely with Simpsons. I believe that. Something working through is the spirit of the beast working through that. I even saw a long time ago that, gosh, I'm trying to think of the actors. Michael McKean was one. And then, golly, I can't remember their names, but there's a couple of the big guys in that show that made a mockumentary on the Bohemian Grove. So you can look that up. Look up Simpsons artist Bohemian Grove, and you'll find this random low-budget, quote, comedy that some of the people from The Simpsons created years ago, mocking the Bohemian Grove as if it was just a joke, like it's almost covering up for it. I always thought that was really weird why these guys would do that. And now they're all on this huge show. They're multimillionaires. They're on The Simpsons. And now we have all this weird stuff come out of The Simpsons, like all the time. It's like it's literally predicting things that's happening in the future. And a lot of it is connected to Illuminati type stuff or symbolism or sacrifices. I mean, it's deep, man. So, follow some of those threads if you like. And you should, because there's a lot more going on with The Simpsons than what meets the all-seeing eye. I had to say that just because. No code there. Thing. A mysterious dinosaur-like creature discovered with flesh still on its bones leaves scientists baffled. The partially preserved corpse was unearthed by an electrician cleaning out a substation left untouched for 35 years. Looks like it's trying to load. Let's see what happens here. Maybe we can watch this together, see what it says. If it says anything. Look at that. Dinosaur-like creature. Come on, video. Let's go. We got people waiting here. People got things to do, all right? Got lives to lead. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, there we go.
Dinosaur. 40 feet long. Killing hunter. All the dinosaurs failed to his trials. कितना सकता है दूसरा डायनासोर है जो सब डायनासोरों को खा जाता है 150 million.
All right, so there's some of the video. The creature, which was found in Jaspur, a small city in India, has now been sent for analysis, including carbon dating, which will reveal its age. Experts say that although it looks like a small dinosaur that could be near impossible, this flightless dinosaurs have been extinct for 65 million years. Even that, am I the only one that I get bothered when I hear this stuff that people say the Earth has been here for like 65 million years, or 100 million years or whatever? Maybe it's just me. No offense if you're one of them. Fine, fair enough. But I also wonder if that's just another part of the deception of the beast system itself. The kind of lies we're fed. I guess I'm more kind of in line with the Kent Hovind view of like our biblical history and how long we've been around. And that's just me. If you've never seen anything from him, check him out. KENTHOVIND. And check out some of his work. He's interesting. So yeah, thought I'd throw that in there. Okay, here we go. California health officials released guidelines to avoid cell phone radiation. Do you guys remember way back? I mean, this is, put on your seatbelt and slide on your thinking cap. We're going in the Wayback Machine. But do you remember back when cell phones first came out and there were a lot of people saying that they were going to be dangerous and there was radiation and it could kill you, and all the mockery, even news stories mocking these ideas way back in the past? I don't remember that or not. But look how far we've come. Again, this is slow disclosure. The first people on this stuff telling you what's coming and what's happening, the watchmen and watchwomen for that matter, it's all included for me in that term, but watchmen out there been sharing, they put it out there. It's always the tip of the spear, that takes the most blood, I guess you could say. So, but eventually all of this comes out. So yeah, California health officials released guidelines. For the first time ever, the California Department of Public Health has released guidelines about harmful cell phone radiation and how you can avoid it. Dr. Karen Smith with the California Department of Public Health said, "We recognize that there are a lot of people in the general public that have some concerns about their cell phones and whether using a cell phone is safe." Smith said, "When you sleep, you keep the cell phone at least arm's length away from your body." And also not carrying your cell phone in your pocket, having it either in your purse or not carrying it with you. Oh boy. Hey guys, how many years you've been walking around with your cell phone in your front pockets right next to your, like in that area, right? But they're telling us we should have, at least when we're sleeping, at least an arm's length away. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, meanwhile, for years, many of us have been carrying them around in our front pockets or even right on top of your heart. How many people put your cell phone up in your left breast pocket and just kind of walk around like that all day long, Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Makes me wonder. Just more filth being spread here. Right? Princeton, latest Ivy League school to host BDSM tutorials. Princeton University has become the latest Ivy League institution to host a club for students who seek to explore sexual desires that delve into bondage, domination, sadism, and masochism, underscoring a larger trend found at many top-tier universities. The student-led club, Princeton Plays, launched earlier this month after Princeton's student government voted to officially recognize it. It joins Harvard's Munch. Keep it classy. It joins Harvard's Munch, Columbia's Conversio Virium, and Cornell's Crunch clubs as active student BDSM groups in the Ivy League. Several sects, a lot of our Illuminati and Freemason leaders at the top of all the industries and politics and even Hollywood come from these Ivy League schools. So no surprise there, right? Conversio, Cornell's Crunch. Several Sex Week campus events at various high-profile colleges over the years have also included workshops on the sexual subculture, which can include ropes, whips, blindfolds, flogging, blah, 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 blah. Okay, gross. Gross. Reminds me of the story. I'm just going to find it real quick. Let's see. There it is. Yeah. So this is from a few years ago. This is from 2012, July 2012. Hotel replaces Bible with 50 Shades of Grey. So, and 50 Shades of Grey is, it's the same kind of thing about BDSM. It's about women giving complete control over to men to be like extremely dominant and do all that kind of wild stuff or whatever, right? So that's what that is. But these are just the seeds. This is the seed. We're seeing the seed here. Now you see how far it's come. Ever since stuff like this came out several years ago, now we have like mainstream Ivy League universities implementing these kinds of ideas, right? You see how it grows, right? What else we got here, folks? God's messenger, Rocky Mountains recluse claims to be prophet with new announcement. December 9th. You see if this plays. If it didn't play pretty quick, I'll just read it through here. Thanks again for being here, guys. I can't look at the chat right now. I'm not able to, but I will say that I'm going to be having all week, like I said, most of my work has been trying to get my videos fixed up on my website. I got some big videos coming this week, a couple on YouTube. I got multiple coming up on the website, and I want to do another catching up with KJ where we can just kind of chat. All right, so we'll do that sometime probably this week. So let's see what this guy's got.
Momentous time. Great threshold where the future of humanity will be determined. While these might be unsettling, people will seek to avoid such things. In truth, everyone has been sent into the world to serve these times. Here there is no mistake. You are here. This purpose is not what you think, not even what you hope for.
I'm joined today in what I think will be a very, very interesting interview.
Okay, so there's that.
The director of the Scott.
Oh, wait, let's see. This is David Packman. I guess he interviewed him. Let's see what they say.
The son of the messenger, Marshall Jan Summers. I'm so fascinated, Reed, by everything you guys have going on over there. For people who aren't familiar, first of all, with the Society for the New Message from God, is this a church within a religion? Is it a religion in and of itself? How do you describe it?
Well, first and foremost, it is a new message from God. It is a communication from the creator of all life for people of all religions and people of no religion. So first and foremost, it is a message. It is also a worldwide community and a movement worldwide amongst men and women in over 106 countries at this point.
Wow.
Who are undertaking a return to their own natural innate spirituality and seeking to find their own unique contribution to a world in need.
Okay, whatever. Interesting, I guess, there to hear a little bit about it. But anyway, just another example. God's messenger calls himself. Rocky Mountain recluse claims to be prophet with new announcement. Let's see here. Let's try to turn this thing off. It's a bad thing about some of these websites. You get so many pop-ups. So give me a second here. I'm just going to jump off that one. Let's move on. Shock claim aliens make contact saying humans will be enslaved by extraterrestrials. Aliens have already made contact with our planet and issued a chilling warning. Humans will be enslaved by advanced races, the self-proclaimed prophet of God has said.
Before that, you were saying that there are.
There we go. Pause that. Self-styled prophet Marshall Vian Summers claimed a community of aliens watching the Earth told him through God that other malevolent alien races regularly visit our planet in UFOs. Duh. I don't think they're aliens. I think they're the fallen, but that's me. Mr. Summers, 68, who heads a growing church called the New Message from God movement in Boulder, Colorado, has transcribed the alien messages he claims to have received into a book entitled The Allies of Humanity, Book 1. He wrote on his website, alliesofhumanity.org, over 20 years ago, a group of individuals from several different worlds gathered at a discrete location in our solar system for the purpose of observing the alien intervention that is occurring in our world. The website includes a link to the alleged transcribed messages. The first message states, we represent a small group who is observing the events of your world. We've been sent here for a very specific purpose. The benevolent aliens claim to have been sent by the unseen ones, quote unquote, to help us avoid a takeover by other species who hope to control us and interbreed with us. The message adds, your world is being visited by several alien races and by several different organizations of races. There have been visitations throughout human history. What has brought these forces to your shores in such numbers with such intention are the resources of your world. Mr. Summers' website also claimed the message told warned aliens were responsible for abducting people and may eventually take over our planet. It adds that each alliance represents several different racial groups who are collaborating for the purpose of gaining access to your world's resources and maintaining this access. They see your world as a great prize, something that they want to have for themselves. However, it said we would not experience a War of the Worlds style invasion, but a gradual takeover. It adds, your visitors do not come armed with great weapons, with armies, or with armadas of vessels. They come in relatively small groups, but they possess considerable skills in influencing people. Their intention is employment, not destruction. The warning states these aliens will communicate with people via telepathy. It says to serve this purpose, they will create establishments here, though not in view. These establishments will be hidden, but they will be very powerful in casting an influence on human populations that are near them. The alien presence in the world is growing. It says many more people are falling under its persuasion, losing their ability to know, becoming confused and distracted, believing in things that can only weaken them and make them impotent in the face of those who would seek to use them for their own purposes. Your world could be overtaken without firing a shot, for violence is considered primitive and crude and is rarely employed in matters such as this. They will promise anything, offer anything, and do anything to achieve this goal. Their influence is growing, and their program of interbreeding, which has been underway for several generations, will eventually be effective. Let's see, where'd I go? They are here to establish themselves. They want humanity to believe in them and to serve them. The message concluded it was likely to incite considerable fear and denial or confusion, but that the future also brought great opportunity and great possibilities for humanity. It adds that people everywhere will be able to find a basis of cooperation so that the human family can finally establish a unity that has never been established here before. It shall be a one world. I believe this will have to do with the one world religion. It is your evolution to emerge into a greater community of intelligent life. And there we go. Thought I'd share that. Interesting stuff. Naked man crashes into truck, runs in traffic, jumps on vehicles near DC airport. So just another example. Hey! That's my cat. Sorry, Chubbs. He was taking a nap for most of the show, but now he's up, and hijinks will most likely ensue. So I got to keep my peepers trained on him. Not for long. He's doing okay. We'll see. We'll see how he does. So naked man. We're seeing a lot of this, and again, I equate a lot of this stuff to just people losing it in these times and these days. People losing their minds. There's a lot of demonic energy out there. There's a lot of demonic influence out there. There's literal demonic spirits out there. So I'll see if this plays. Maybe we can watch some of this here. I also did a video a while back. I think it's called Why Are People Losing Their Minds? Or I don't know what it was called. Something like that. But it was last year around October-ish, I think, because it's one of the first videos I put up when I noticed YouTube censorship was really kicking in. You know, I mean, I had like hundreds of thousands of subs. I put that video up and it got like, 8,000 views in 5 days. And I was like, okay, something's going on. Because it was a compilation video about 30 minutes long with clips of all these people committing nude crimes. People doing stuff like this, taking their clothes off, acting crazy, acting like animals, acting possessed. People committing crimes naked, hurting people in their own family and neighbors and friends. So just another example, I believe, of that massive influx of that demonic spirits, demonic energy. This thing's not going to play. But anyway, I figured I would just I guess you can look at the picture. Oh, cool, right? Thanks, KJ. That's real cool. Well, I tried. But anyway, you can look that story up. It's a pretty crazy video. Naked man crashes into truck, runs in traffic, jumps on vehicles near DC airport. I thought this was really moving. This was nice. Woman who survived suicide attempt reveals what it's like to live again. So let's check some of this out. Kristen McGinnis lost her right jawbone, a third of her teeth and tongue, the lower half of her mouth, and her right eye during the attempt in 2010. Kristen of Virginia said, right up until 2009, I lived a charmed life. I had a lot of friends. I loved my job. And I was best friends with my grandmother. And then everything went to hell. I think that's why I captured this story, because we can all relate. And it's interesting, right? A lot of you out there, and I've been there, trust me, I know what it's like to be in a position where, I mean, I'll never lose hope in God or Jesus. That's just me. But I mean, there's been times where I'm just like, I felt I was being punished. Like, why am I going all this time and all this stuff is horrible? Why, Lord, week after week is my life getting worse? We've all been in situations like that. It's the human experience. We weren't promised to have a life filled with roses and no issues. And it's just, that's what it is. So, we can relate. We've been there. And that's what life is, at least in my own experience. It's been peaks and valleys, as financially or every other way you can imagine. Just being at peace, being happy in a place, not being happy in a place. I mean, that's what life is. It's peaks and valleys, right? So we've all been there, and I thought this was really touching. So she says, everything went to hell. So she says, I lost my job. My grandmother died. I was dating a really nice guy. I moved in with him, and then he broke up with me. I'd lost all of my savings and began drinking heavily. At the time, I thought that killing myself was the right thing to do. There's some pictures of her. It's intense. I tidied the apartment because I knew people would be coming in or would be coming, and I went out on the balcony because I was afraid the bullet would go through my head and through the wall and hurt someone else. I was calm for the first time in months. I wasn't afraid to die, so I pulled the trigger. But unbeknownst to her, her roommate was sleeping in the next room. Kristen, 46, said, I heard my roommate running around the apartment screaming. The noise that came out of his mouth was the shrillest, most panicked shriek I've ever heard. She was airlifted to a hospital and in a coma for 3 weeks. The first thing she remembers was her dad holding my hand and saying, all you have to do is heal. Everything is taken care of. You're safe. I think the biggest change for me was seeing how much support I really had and how many people truly cared about me. It took the anger and depression away. Her friend Howard said, when I walked into the room at the hospital, she was not recognizable. She was swollen. Half of her face was bandaged because it was blown off. But when I saw the forehead and the red hair, I knew that was my Kristen. Kristen has since had 49 surgeries to reconstruct her face and will need more in the future. She said, I'll never be that person I was before, but that's good. I'm more grateful now. It's a struggle for me getting around, but I enjoy the life that I have. During my recovery, I met and fell in love with a wonderful man. I value my friendships more and my time with others, but I don't regret what I did. Now Kristen volunteers at the Trauma Network Center in Virginia. She said suicide is an awful thing. There's such a stigma around suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts that people keep it hidden. But by talking about suicide, admitting we've all been there, others can know they're not alone. And I think that's a good message, a beautiful message. Yeah, don't ever do that to yourself. If you're feeling like that right now, hopefully the story touched your heart in some way or moved you, If not, maybe this story here will. Let's see what we got here. This is just a goofy one. Devout worshipers flock to see algae that looks a bit like Virgin Mary. What do you guys think about this stuff, man? This happens all the time. It's like, Jesus on a slice of bread, Moses on a bar of soap. You see it all the time. I mean, seriously, like there's always these kind of like pretty wild stories about this stuff. So I don't know. What do you think about it, man? What do you think about stuff? Is that like a mockery? Is these demonic spirits mocking God and the Virgin Mary and Jesus when they do stuff like this? Or is it important? Is it like just like a soft reminder from our Heavenly Father to believers in random ways? What are your thoughts? Or is it just much ado about nothing? Let us know your opinion in the comments below or in the chat room right now. City where Jesus grew up cancels Christmas. You probably heard about this. Maybe you didn't. The city where Jesus grew up, they say, has canceled Christmas in protest at Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Nazareth, the largest Arab town in Israel with a Muslim and Christian population of 76,000, is one of the Holy Land's focal points in Christmas festivities. City spokesperson Salam Sharara said, "We have decided to cancel the traditional Christmas singing and dancing because we are in a time of dispute because of what Trump has said about Jerusalem." The Israeli Arab city is traditionally thought to be where Jesus grew up, with the Basilica of the Annunciation in central Nazareth, built on a site which many Christian faithful believe was the childhood home of Jesus' mother, Mary. Let's see what we got here. Did Trump warn of bizarre psychological operation with an Alice in Wonderland tweet? It's an old story. Actually, this is something I was looking at for a video because this doesn't fall in the last week. And you know how it is here on KJ's What Happened. We follow the rules. We follow the rules. We keep it straight up. But anyway, I thought I might share. Let's see. Did Trump warn of bizarre psychological operation? Conspiracy theorists don't like that word, have been sent into overdrive with speculation about a bizarre so-called psyop against U.S. citizens.
November
Here we go.
16th, 2017. President Trump tweets, "The time is upon us. Operation Alice in Wonderland is about to start. Clearly, the president wishes to alert the people to some subterfuge about to take place." The tweet was swiftly removed around 15 minutes later.
So even that, you know, I think I was in the process of just trying to vet this story myself. This could very well be fake news, but look it up for yourself because I don't remember anything. And this is the only place I found that's the Express, so I don't know. Something you might want to look up. Random one just in there. I think I've covered most of my stories for the week anyway, but let's see what I have here. I've got some weird stuff. Oh, okay. I love me some good UFO type videos, especially the ones where I think that it's literally the fallen that we're seeing, and we see it all the time. But here's one right here. Cloud in the sky, and you'll see this weird cloud up here. And then you'll see it, some orbs start popping up, and it's always the orbs. It's always the orbs we see. There's one. And a couple more pop out there in just a second. Just jumping ahead a bit. Anyway, there's some more manifesting up there. The orbs. It's a soft one, but let's get to the good hardcore one here, the really crazy one. So as I've mentioned before, you know, I've been on YouTube years, and I've been researching all these random topics and stuff. You know, in between everything else I do, there's always something different I'm looking up, and I have a mind where I always remember some of the stranger videos I've seen throughout the years. This is one of my favorites right here. It's from 2008. And you let me know what you think about this. We'll close the show with this one. After this, I'll jump and say hi to the chat, and I'll have to let you go. But what do you think about this from 2008? What's happening here? Check this out. I think I'm going to make a video about UFO clouds for the website this week because I've seen some good videos this week. Watch this.
It's funny. Look, David. David, look. Come and look at it. Look. You see it? You see them? These materializing. Awesome. I mean, they just growing. Look, David. Look. They're getting big. Oh, shut up. Look. It's getting bigger. Look. You see it? It was small. I mean, look. They're just materializing out of the sky. Look. You notice how small they were? Yeah. That's amazing. There was no clouds in the sky.
Isn't that cool? I'm not going to show you the whole video. It's like a 4-minute long video, but let's see. We jump ahead here some.
Show the rest of the sky. And there's no.
Yeah, you keep saying there's no other clouds in the sky, and then this thing just this is crystal clear, and then this is what starts happening to it. It starts breaking apart.
Nice. You want to criticize it? You want to say something? I don't care. I know this is the same spot that I videotaped a UFO the other day.
So he just said it. He videotaped some UFOs, and those are orb UFOs he has on some of his other videos. So anyway, I wanted to share that. I thought it was interesting. I like stuff like that. It makes me wonder. I'm going to jump over here real quick to the chat, and let's see what we got here. There's Google Hangouts. Good there. Let's say hi to the chat room here real quick, And where are we? There we go. Hey guys, how you doing? Hi there. Hi chat. Thanks for being here, guys. Once again, man, I think that's about the end of the show. Just want to say thanks again for being here. I hope you like these shows. It's always nice seeing everybody. I'll be doing a catching up with KJ this week, and it'll be something where we can hang out and chat a little more. These kind of shows, I just like to kind of focus on the news stories I want to share with you. Like I said, it's been a crazy week. For those of you that support my work, thank you so much. I've got some great videos coming. I've been working mainly this past week on the website, trying to get that cool and not lose a whole bunch of videos. So it's been good. But much love to you guys, man. Like I said, we'll do a show this week where we can hang out and chat. I'll do another one of these KJ's What Happened next Friday. Got a couple big videos to drop on YouTube, and the website is going to be fully updated over the next few days. Okay, so take care out there, you guys, man. You're awesome. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you a little later. Okay.